Okay, we are live. We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to an all new episode of the DTI Takeover Show here on Total Entertainment Radio. I am your host, Miss Kayla. So, as always, you guys know that I got a job to do today. But today is special. Today, not now. I don't want nobody to feel some kind of way, right? All of the people that we have on this show are special. All of our guests, all of our business owners, our entrepreneurs, our life coaches, our mental health coaches, everybody who's been a guest on our show is special. But she's special, okay? But she's special. So I have the pleasure of interviewing and having with us today Councilwoman Mary Waters here with us today. How you doing?
I'm wonderful. What up, though?
Hey, what up? Um, so like I said, it is a pleasure to have you on our show today. Now I know that many people know who you are. So for those who around the world who may not know, can you let everyone know a little bit about yourself?
Oh yeah. Let me count the ways. Yes. So I now live in the D. I've been here most of my life. Right after high school, I came here from Alabama, where I graduated from high school in Greenville, Alabama. Um, but my first exposure to this city was early on when my dad got a job with General Motors because he was a self-taught mechanic,
Okay.
and he moved us all here. Me being the oldest child, I could remember what I loved about this city.
Okay.
And I said, once I complete high school, I am going to return to the city of Detroit. And that's exactly what I did right after high school. Then I became very, very active in the community,
Mm-hmm.
uh, doing all kinds of community work, working with other people who were running for office. It just felt so good to be able to do those things. Volunteerism is something, it is so rewarding. That's
Mm.
why I tell young people, even before you decide whether or not you want to even run for office, why don't you see what it's like to give back to your community, to
Mm.
volunteer, see what that, because it's really a great feeling. Just to fast forward, I spent a lot of years at Blue Cross Blue Shield. I have to say that I grew up there, even though it was not my first job when I arrived
Okay.
in Detroit. My first job was at McDonald's.
Okay.
Yeah, I was at McDonald's. I left McDonald's and I went to what is now called Chase Bank, and then I left there and went to Blue Cross Blue Shield, and that's where I kind of grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And I still run into people right now who says, "Oh, don't you remember me? We both worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield. Boy, was that a family there! Just thousands of us who knew each other, or knew of each other." Um, the first office that I ran for was the Charter Revision Commission. All right, and I didn't have any money then either, but uh, and I couldn't do a mailer or anything like that. People told me, well, all the deals have been cut.
Mm-hmm.
You can't win. It's citywide,
Mm-hmm.
And they said, but why are you doing it? And I said, it's because I'm stepping out on faith. Once I decided that I could do it, I went full steam ahead. I was told by many people that I could not do it because
Mm-hmm.
all the deals had been cut, Kayla, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it was that faith that kept me going, because when a friend of mine first asked me to run for it, I told her, I said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "Do you think I'm going to sit up and talk in front of people like that? I'm just not going to do it." But I finally got the nerve to do it. I did it, and I won out of a field of 60 people. You know, came in pretty high in the general, came in number 6 in the primary out of a field of 60.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah. And people were excited about my candidacy. They're like, who is this new girl on the scene here? This Mary. I used to say, I am Mary D. Waters.
Okay.
People say, oh, there's Mary D. Uh, I would later some years become a state representative,
Yeah.
where I served in Lansing as the first African American female floor leader in the history of the Michigan House of Reps.
Awesome.
I did not miss one single day of work. You see, Caleb, when people think enough of you,
Yeah.
elect you to office, you ought to be willing to be there and do the job.
Yes, ma'am.
So I was there every day, even though I knew that the Democrats were in the minority at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of things I could not stop. But it was my job to be there to advocate on behalf of those that I represent. And
Yes, ma'am.
that's what we are. As elected officials, we are advocates
Yeah.
for those that we represent. And so I wanted to be there to make sure that the voices were heard of the people that I was representing. And so I was there even when I fell off the steps there and
Mm,
sprained my ankle. I came in on crutches the next day.
mm, mm.
I mean, dedicated, because that's what public service
Yeah.
is all about. And so, and then some years later, I'm now an at-large member on the Detroit City Council, you know, and and I hit the ground running because I already had the experience as a former legislator. I understood the city's constitution well enough because I had participated. I served on the Charter Revision Commission,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ready to roll with it, and that's exactly what we've been doing.
Yes,
We've
ma'am.
been working hard. I'm a breast cancer survivor.
Oh,
Yay! You
yes.
know, yeah. uh, and a shout out to all the survivors out there.
Yeah.
And even after I was diagnosed with cancer, once the initial shock hit me, and I got through that, I
Mm-hmm.
decided that I would defeat cancer.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
I would just have that conversation. I said, you know what? I'm going to beat this. I'm going to beat you. And it takes a lot when you're going through chemo and so forth to
Mm-hmm.
fight back, because those drugs can be mind altering, but you have to fight back,
Yes.
with all that you have. And you have to, and I used to go on daily walks and try to run some to keep
Mm-hmm.
those drugs moving through my system.
Yeah.
Other ways that I was fighting back in order to get through it. And then I would immediately become a member of Sisters Network, because
Okay.
now I could give back to the community, encourage other women who've been diagnosed with breast cancer to say, okay, it does not have to be a death sentence.
Yes.
This is something you can fight back and you can win, you can survive.
Yes.
And I used to go to doctor's appointments especially with the younger women. It's very hard for them to be diagnosed at such a young age
Mm-hmm.
with breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that it was important that I assured them that they too can get through it, you know. And I served as president too of Sister Network for 4 years.
Awesome.
So even when I'm not in elective office, I'm still getting the job done some other
Yes.
kind of way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because public service is a part of who I am. God made me this way, is who I am, and I enjoy doing it.
I can tell. I can tell. Well, you have a story to tell. You do have a story to tell. For those who may not know, because we do like for our people to be educated. Can
Mhm.
you let us know what it means to be an at-large member for the city council?
That means citywide.
Okay.
I represent the whole D.
You said
Yes,
well, not a part of it, not a ditch, the whole. Okay.
the whole D. Yes,
That's good. That's good.
yes.
What
And I'm
are
glad you asked that question, Kayla, because sometimes people don't know what
yes.
at large means. Yes.
Okay. So great, great. So why the 13th congressional district? I'm sorry, the 13th district. Why that route?
Why? Well, because I've had experience at the state level. I've had experience at the local level, both on the city council
Mm-hmm.
and as a charter revision commissioner, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
ready for Washington, D.C. I have a lot to offer. I'm going to go there and be a strong advocate on behalf of the people. The
Yes, ma'am.
13th congressional district has been neglected A
Mm.
number of the programs that I've worked on to put in place at the city level, I can then go there and work to enhance the programs at the federal level. You
Yeah.
see, the housing initiatives, we need more money
Yeah.
so that we can build more true, affordable slash income based housing for
Hmm.
people who don't have the salaries to
Hmm.
pay that high rent, right?
Hmm.
Work with HUD to make sure that we can get some of those things done. Started the Veterans Affairs Department. That is something we can build on at the federal level,
Mm.
because when you have an actual department, then you can qualify for federal dollars so that
Mm.
you can expand it and help our veterans. Young Entrepreneurs Program,
Yeah.
I started at the city council level. We want to be able to build on that too. Maybe here in the city, maybe in other parts of the 13th congressional district, where young people are interested in doing those kinds of things, and I'm sure that they are,
Mhm.
want to be able to own their own business and watch
Mhm.
it grow. We need to help them find ways to elevate their business,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
know, um, and senior accessibility program, for seniors who want to age in place in their own homes, but are having some mobility challenges.
Yeah.
We're putting in, we're going to assess things, put in ramps and rails to
Mhm.
help them move around in their own home.
Mhm.
And so I started a tennis rights commission, first rights tennis rights commission, and also, and we're hoping to appoint one or two young people to that tennis rights commission so
Mhm.
that they can serve on that. It is they get a stipend for being on the commission. We'll
Okay.
also they will also have a staff to support their work.
Awesome.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And I just introduced a compliance ordinance. So stay tuned for more on that, which means if you are a landlord, and we're not asking that you allow tenants to run over you, but
Right.
what we're saying is that when you have repairs that need to be done in
That.
your houses, you
Mhm.
need to take care of that, because
Yes.
we're going to hold you accountable. When I think about what happened with 11-month-old Kamaya Davis, which I named the call center. I also did a dedicated call center, Kayla. One
Wow.
stop one stop shop. People can call there
Okay.
for any housing issues that they might have.
That's amazing.
Yes, because I didn't want people to be frustrated about what number to call.
Oh my gosh. Right.
And then we also, out of the $203 million housing initiative that I'm the architect of, also down payment assistance for first time home buyers up to $25,000. And I noticed that some of my former students at Cass Tech has taken advantage of that down payment assistance program. And I was thrilled to learn of that, because we want young people to be able to purchase their first home, if they will, right
Yes.
here in the city of Detroit, right? So
Yes.
there's a way that they can do that. But what happened with 11-month-old Kamaya Davis, and
Mhm.
we also calling it part of the housing center as the Kamaya Davis Family Resource Center. She fell in a hole in the floor
Yeah.
in a house and into water and feces and died.
Yeah.
Threw that hole into the basement, and she died. Her mom ended up was prosecuted because of it. She went to prison, but when she came out, she did not have a place to live herself.
Yeah.
She called my office and she said, I need a place to live so that I can get my children back. I
Mhm.
said, we are on it. We found her a place, got it fully furnished, and now she's able to have her other children back. Those are the kinds of things. Uh,
Yeah.
they're so rewarding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just simply rewarding to be able to, because part of your responsibility as an elected official is to identify ways that you can lift up those that you represent. You know,
Right.
reach back, pull up, just keep pulling people up if you're able to do that.
Right.
And so public service is no joke. It is not a place to enrich yourself. If
Mm,
you want to be a public servant, then go do it and do the
mhm,
very best job that you can.
mhm.
And if you cannot do your very best, leave it and turn it over to somebody else. Let somebody else do the work. Because if you think that it's about you, think not. It is not. It is about those that you represent.
Mhm. I can tell, and it's not. It's something that you cannot take lightly. These are real people, real lives
Real,
that
yeah.
you are helping. These are people who are going through life, and life does a number on us. You
Oh,
need
tell me about it. I know firsthand.
yes, ma'am. So we need those resources, and it's irritating. I've been on that end of trying to like, who do I call? Where do I
Mhm.
go? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Everything is everywhere, and you call someone, they send you to another number, and then they
Oh,
this
yes.
number, and it's just too much.
It's too much. It is too much.
So
And
it's
that's
just
why sometimes people they give up. You
yep.
might find them sleeping in their cars.
Mhm.
They'd rather be homeless sometimes to go through all those changes. So
Yes, ma'am.
that's why it was very important that we have a one-stop shop, a dedicated call center. And let me tell you, it has been working. It really works well.
That's good. That's good. I love to see our real politicians who are
Mhm.
doing what they say they're gonna do. First
Mhm.
thing first.
Yes.
And
Yes.
who actually are for the people. And the only reason you can be for the people, you gotta know what the people need. You have to
Yeah, you have to listen.
there you go.
Hmm.
There
Yeah.
you have to
And
listen.
it sounds like you understand that too, Caleb. So that's a real good thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
Yes, ma'am. You do have to listen, and you have to be able to relate and to understand and kind of meet people where they are. So
yes.
if you are in this for the wrong reason, just it's not a popularity contest. So if you're here to be popular just to build your resume to get to the next level,
Hmm.
this isn't for you.
That's
This
right.
isn't for you. That's just
Yeah.
the nicest way that I can put it.
Yeah. But if you're building your resume and you're really helping people along the way, then it's okay.
Yes,
If you're doing exactly that, if you're not just in there because you think it's a power position
right,
or you want the title,
right.
no, that is not a good reason. Those are not good reasons.
You're right. You're right. So,
Yeah.
Miss Mary, can you let everyone know about the upcoming election days? Um,
Ooh,
let
I'm
me.
so glad you asked, Kayla, because let me tell you, I need you all, please, to go out and vote. You can vote now
Okay.
by absentee. You don't even need a reason to vote by absentee anymore. You just
Okay.
tell the clerk's office to mail you an application. Then the clerk's office will then mail you a ballot after you complete that application. The second thing I want people to understand, early voting begins July 27th through August 4th.
Okay.
Each city has its own vote centers, early vote centers, where people can go vote. Ask your local clerk, look online. They will have places in your various communities where you can go and vote early. I am encouraging people, if you really want the best person nominated
Mhm.
for uh, for this 13th congressional seat and
Mhm.
any other seat or even U.S. Senate,
Mhm.
then please, you cannot sit out the primary. The primary will decide who the person will be going into the general.
Mhm.
And people like myself need your vote because why? It's a Democratic district for the most part. So when I win August 6th, on it gives me an opportunity to also go around to the state and help other Democrats.
Yeah.
You know, if your person loses on August 6th,
Mhm.
they're not there. Then you won't see their name on the ballot after that
Mm.
in such a Democratic district. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
So on or before August 6th is so critical. I cannot stress that enough. Sometimes people say, I had a young lady say to me, I was at a park, there was a picnic, and she says, "Oh, I don't know about primary. She was just thinking about November." I said, "No, please. I
Mm-hmm.
need you to cast that vote for me in August. Do it early or do it on August 6th." Sometimes, and I tell people about early voting because sometimes on the day of, things come up.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to work late. I don't know. Anything could come up, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's why there are opportunities to get that vote on in. You say, "Well, I don't know what's going to be happening with me on August 6th. So
Yep.
let me get that my vote in. Let me go to a voting site between July 27th and August 4th and cast my vote." And
Okay.
that is so critical.
That's very critical. Okay. And so for those who need to know, how do they register to vote?
Well, let me tell you, you can go to your polling site early or the day of,
Mm-hmm.
and you can say, "I want to vote, but I'm not registered." Guess what? You can register and vote 1 minute, and you can vote the next minute
Okay.
right there.
Okay.
Same day voter registration right there. You can register and vote that same day, same time.
Well, that's good. That's good. And how do you find out what your polling site is?
Well, there's a link um, on the Secretary of State. It's called my vote. Let me see. I can't remember what it's called, but
Mm-hmm.
Kayla, I should probably send it to you
Mm-hmm.
so that you can share it with your listeners
Yes,
so they
ma'am.
know how to do it. But the secretary, if you go to michigan.gov
Mm-hmm.
forward slash SOS, and then you can find all of the instructions there about voting, because there'll be a tab that calls voting. There'll be a question in, where do I vote,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Hmm.
key in, it'll ask you for your name and probably your birth year, I believe, or something like that.
Okay.
And then it populates and it shows you exactly where you can go and vote.
Okay.
If you want to vote early, call your local clerk's office. In the city of Detroit, it would be 313-876-0190. That's the city clerk's office in the city of Detroit. But all the local clerk offices have early voting, and
Okay.
throughout Michigan, in fact.
Okay.
And so that's the beauty about voting. There are no excuses.
Nope.
There are no excuses. No reason to vote by absentee. Early voting, same day voter registration. I mean, how it doesn't get any easier.
It doesn't. It
I
doesn't.
mean,
You can vote right there at your house.
you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't get any easier.
I
So,
get
and
that.
I just want to encourage people
Yes, ma'am.
um, to do that. And
Yes,
I
ma'am.
hope that you will continue to encourage your listeners to do that as well. I was trying to find that link so I can share it exactly what it is with people. Um, it is, all right. So you click on all services,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going to take you um, forms and publications. Okay, there's something that's called michigan.gov/vote. That's
Gotcha.
the link they want, okay?
Okay.
Michigan.gov/vote. And then it'll give you a tab that looks like this, and it says, you know, your vote information, and you just answer those questions, click on it, and go right there. And you'll be able to know where you're supposed to go vote,
Mm-hmm.
um, who your, what district you live in, if you live in the 13th congressional district, if you live in the 12th congressional district, 10th, whatever it may be.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, y'all heard there. There's no excuses. No
That's right.
excuses.
That was a very brief civics lesson.
Yes, no excuses. So August 6th is the primaries, and then when is the general election?
The general election is November 5th.
November 5th. So we gotta get through these primaries, everybody.
Yeah,
Primaries are important. And I'll be honest, Miss Waters,
yeah.
I was one of them. I've always missed a primary. I've always missed primaries.
Oh, don't do it, please.
I'm
Don't
not.
do
I'm on it this time. I am on
it.
it this time because I have no excuses. I know better, so I'm gonna do better. I got
Yes. And
it.
I
So,
know that you have that microphone. You can encourage the young people that you know to do exactly the same. Tell
yeah.
them I'm going to expect them to show up and show out for Mary Waters.
Yes, ma'am.
I need them to do that because when I get to Washington, D.C., I'm going to show up and show out for them.
Yes, ma'am. We gonna spread the word. We gonna let them know. Y'all better show up and show out for Miss Mary Waters, okay?
Mhm.
It is so important. Your vote does matter, and I did want to mention that really quick. Um,
Mhm.
I'm sure you've heard it, you've seen it when people say, "I don't know why am I voting anyway. It doesn't count. It doesn't matter. It ain't gonna do anything." What is your response to that?
It matters. Believe me, let me give you a prime example why it matters. You look at the US Supreme Court right now. Hey, hello, somebody. It matters who your judges are.
Yes.
They are making decisions. They are like, I mean, they sit there, they are high. They have the last word
Yeah.
when it comes to things in this country.
Yes,
Those
ma'am.
are lifetime appointments. The
Mm-hmm.
president, along with the US Senate, gets to approve those appointments.
Mm-hmm.
So we need control of the US Senate.
Yes, we
We
do.
need the president's office. And I have to give credit to President Biden right now. He has appointed more black judges to the federal bench than all of the presidents combined.
Ooh-wee.
All of them. It matters
It
who
matters.
your judges are. And I remember in 2016 when Hillary Clinton was running,
Mm-hmm.
folks were like, I'm angry at her about this, I'm angry at her about that. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't address the things right, the issues properly. She should have done better.
Yes.
So when people went to the polls, a lot of the progressives in particular, they voted for everything except what? President,
Mm-hmm.
left it blank, and the rest is history. And
Yeah.
therefore, that president, the guy that won that year in 2016, ended up with three appointments that he was able to make to the United States Supreme Court.
Mhm.
You hear me?
I'm
Had those
listening.
position, had Hillary at that time, who was running, been able to make those appointments, and or Barack Obama, who would come after her,
Mhm.
because President Obama only got to make one appointment,
Yes, ma'am.
or Hillary could have made at least two of them for sure, or all three of them. In fact,
Mhm.
the rest would be history.
Rest will be
You
history.
know what I'm saying? And
Ma'am.
because it matters who sits there on those courts. It matters at the federal level, it matters at the state level and the local levels. Trust me when I say it matters, and it does. You want people who have the right temperament. You want people who who don't want to take your rights away, who don't want to destroy democracy. So
Right.
you can feel free to build on generational wealth. You're not holding back a certain group of people.
Mhm.
Everybody can thrive, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what we want to see. And so it becomes extremely important. So I want young people and everybody to make sure that let's practice for November, okay?
Right.
Let's vote in August,
Yes.
starting July 27th, vote early. And then if you don't vote early, make sure you vote August 6th.
There you go.
No excuses, people. And we're happy to answer any questions that anybody might have. And for those who might be within the sound of my voice, tell somebody else too
Yeah.
that they need to vote early. Tell somebody else that you heard Mary Waters say a few things and that you think you like her. I hope that you do, and encourage them to go out and vote for me as well.
Y'all heard it here first on Total Entertainment Radio. You guys get out and vote, 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 vote. Early voting starts July 27th to August
Mhm.
4th. No
Mhm.
excuses. Let's vote for these primaries and get out there on August 6th. Get out there and vote, 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 vote Mary Waters. Because she gonna show up and show out for you if you show up and show out for her.
That's what I'm talking about.
Period. That's it. Thank you once again, Miss
Okay.
Mary Waters, for being a guest with us today on the show. It was a truly a pleasure and honor to have you here. We're going to continue to push
Okay.
for our people to get out and vote, especially our people and
Yeah.
our new people as well.
Yes.
We want everybody to get out here and vote because your vote does matter.
It matters.
It matters.
Yes.
Until next time, everybody, I am your host, Miss Kayla, here with Total Entertainment Radio, and we are signing out for the day.
Thank you, Miss Kayla.
You're welcome. Take
All right.